Folks, 'tis the season. As of posting this, it is our last episode until Halloween, and I'm going over my favorite Halloween video games. Welcome back to the Mario Matter, your favorite Nintendo podcast, episode 163. I am your host, Nintendo Switch 2 YouTuber EmSwizzle, coming to you with a bit of a sore throat and sickness, so this episode may be shorter. I apologize. What is on today's show, you might ask? First things first, we go over some Nintendo news. We had a big Kirby Air Riders Nintendo Direct. We have some other news announced. We'll dive into all that. After that, I go over my favorite Halloween video games. I've never actually done that before on any platform, any channel, so you're getting some exclusive info from me. After that, we answer your questions you asked me in the question block Q&A segment. If you want to skip anywhere in the podcast, there are timestamps down below. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get to Nintendo news.
Welcome to the Mario Matter, the #1 Nintendo podcast.
Once again, episode may be a little bit shorter because I am partially under the weather. I feel fine, throat does not, but everything else is okay. So we're gonna skim through some news. Let's go ahead, kill the fluff. I hope you all appreciate the Halloween-colored plant that I have if you're a video listener, and the purple-colored chair. It's all very cool stuff for that Halloween season. And speaking of Halloween, we have some Halloween news to kick things off. Luigi's Mansion for the Nintendo Switch Online service that is only on Switch 2, the GameCube Classics. That is releasing October 30th. It finally got its release date after all this time, and we thought it would be in the month of October because, you know, Halloween, it makes sense. So October 30th is your date. However, the actual release date is going to be October 29th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, somewhere in there. Whenever Nintendo says, you know, this game releases July 9th, it's always the night before. If you're in America, at least. If you're in the UK, then it comes out at like 2 a.m. that day. So, you know, it's October 30th on Japan time. So, really, October 29th, if you want to play it that night, feel totally free. That's about it. I mean, Luigi's Mansion, solid Halloween game. Could even be in our list later on in this podcast. I'd say, for me, having played it, having this been one of the first games I ever played in my entire life, Luigi's Mansion, GameCube, top 3 GameCube games of all time, and I'd probably go somewhere in like the top 20 video games of all time for me. Luigi's Mansion is a special one. After that, folks, let's dive into some more recent news. The news just broke, I believe, Thursday or Friday, somewhere one of these 2 days. Pokémon Legends ZA sold 5.8 million units in the first week, which is an outstanding stat. Now, we also have that half of those are Switch 2 copies, so we're kind of split here. I mean, that's a great number for Pokemon. What did you expect? It's a big old franchise, and I was even telling you guys last week on the Pokémon Legends ZA episode, I went to my Best Buy, and usually it's pretty empty when I go pick up a game. It was jumping. So I'm not surprised this game sold very well, and that's just the first week. 6 million in the first week. Crazy work. Not surprised. But for those who were trying to boycott the game, mission failed, I guess. Anyhow, after that, let's dive in. We got a couple more pieces of news. I am running through them a little bit just so I can preserve the voice. But this next topic is going to be kind of hard to run through quickly because, guys, the Kirby Air Riders Nintendo Direct, the second one, has aired online, presented by Mr. Sakurai himself, Masahiro Sakurai. The Direct aired. It was 60 minutes long. It was announced at the start of the week. Aired on Thursday. And I gotta be honest with you all, if you all are a follower of my main YouTube channel, EmSwizzle, you all will know I usually stream these directs and these presentations. I didn't for this one, and looking back, phenomenal choice. Listen, Kirby Air Rider's 1 hour direct is longer than just about any Nintendo Direct to ever happen, apart from like the Switch 2 one. There's never been a Direct that is not about a console this long. And listen, that's totally fine. 1 hour on a Sakurai game. He's the man, the myth, the legend. Totally fine. I don't mind, and I'm not hating. I have no problem. I'm just not watching all that. I'm sorry. I've seen enough Kirby Air Riders. That's all I gotta see. I know you race. I know all the modes of the game. I know most of it. I myself don't need to see every little small detail. Now, some of you might say, well, Max, you're a Switch 2 Nintendo YouTuber. You should stream it. I have a rule for myself, a standard. If I can't get excited for a Direct, I'm not going to stream it. Hence why you don't see me stream Indie Worlds or Kirby Air Riders. I streamed the first Kirby Air Riders one. But like, I watched a 40-minute Direct on the game already. And even that was pushing it. I did not watch the 1 hour one. However, I also have not read anything about what aired in this Direct. Aside from I saw a few new amiibo were announced, I've not read anything else. So I'm going to read some of the highlights of this presentation and react to them first time with you all. You all probably already know these things. I don't. So you're getting my first reactions here. All right. So I've taken this GoNintendo.com article in for reference. They listed like a full recap of the Direct, so I'm going to kind of skim through this. So the first note that they make, I'm sure this is like in chronological order of the presentation. There's a new Top Ride game mode originally introduced in Kirby Air Ride. Top Ride is all about racing from a top-down perspective and includes courses inspired by those available in Air Ride mode. That sounds like fun. Top Ride. I should watch this presentation, but reading it's fine. I'm gonna keep reading. Road Trip in today's presentation, Mr. Sakurai introduced a new mode called. There's a new mode. Okay, there's two new modes now. Road Trip, hit the road, and complete different challenges from Air Ride, City Trial, and Top Ride, including races, battles, and field events. All right, we got two new modes. How do you say this? Paddock? In Kirby Air Riders, there's a new way for friends to gather for online play in the paddock, acting like a lobby. This area lets players move around as a rider and set up matches, interact with friends, and pick and choose which mode they would like to play. So this is like a little lobby system for the game, kind of like in Splatoon 3. Okay, I like that. I'll take it. There's a bunch more. There's some new amiibo that were announced. The presentation revealed more of the Kirby Air Riders amiibo, which are significantly larger than typical amiibo. Sakurai showed Meta Knight and Shadow Star, King DDD and Tank Star, and Chef Kawasaki and Hop Star. So this is what I saw online. Them announcing 3 new amiibo. We now have 5 amiibo for Kirby Air Riders. And what super sucks about all of that is each amiibo and their little vehicle is $50 each. If you want every Kirby Air Riders amiibo, you're paying $250. Russ Vandy, are you listening? Your wallet's sweating right now. Russ has every single amiibo. Who's paying this? Who's paying $250? I'm not paying $250 for every Kirby Air Riders amiibo. This is not good. Now, I will tell you, I would like to buy the Chef Kawasaki one because that one looks cool. Aside from that, you can keep it, Sakurai. Sorry, I need some water. I'm all nasally. You can keep it, Sakurai. That's fine with me. I sound like a hater. I'm absolutely not. But $50 is insane. That's almost what the game costs. Oh boy. Maybe I actually am a hater. All right. Let's see. We had some other new things shown, but I feel like those are some of the highlights. We have global wind power. Kirby Air Riders will feature a class system and a new metric called global wind power. It looks like that's going to be like online rankings. Okay. You can like create a license when you play online. This is how other players will identify you. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. I like that. A bunch of small details on the game. Oh, there's an expanded roster. We got a bunch of new people in the game. Okay, Kirby Air Riders Direct. Listen, I'm fine. I don't need to know all the extra details. I'll leave the direct down below if you want to watch. If you want to watch and get all the details. Apologies if you all were expecting me to recap the entire thing, but with me trying to take this podcast episode a little bit lighter, that's a no can do. I apologize. My plans were to read every single thing that was shown, but can't happen. I'm so sorry. And then the other big piece of news is that there is a global test ride, they're calling it, where you can demo the game early. The time slots, there's like there's 6 different time slots. I won't read every single start time and end date, but the weekend, November 8th, like through that weekend, there are some time slots. And then November 15th, through that weekend, there are some more time slots, some in the morning, some at night. I will leave those down below in the sources and links pastebin if you all want to see what time slots work for you for the Kirby test ride. Should be fun. I will be playing that. And then our next piece of news, our last piece of news, folks, is a funny one. It's one that is a recurring theme on this podcast. I always like to end the news segment recently with a bit of a joke. And recently, that joke has been bad games releasing. Last week, it was Elf on the Shelf, a video game on Elf on the Shelf. Before that, it was it Snoopy? Snoopy's not a bad game, but like, a funny game. Before that, it was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer video game. This week, my friends, it's Dora Rainforest Rescue has released on Nintendo Switch. Listen, I bought Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I bought the Snoopy game. I bought Elf on the Shelf. I'm not buying Dora Rainforest Rescue. I'm so sorry to anybody who wants a full 100% completion review on that game. It's not happening. I'm so sorry. But Dora Rainforest keeps our weeks of bad games, aside from Snoopy, bad games releasing. Just wanted to keep that train going, so I did it. I did include this piece of news. Very cool. But folks, after that, I want to dive into my favorite Halloween video games. We have 1 week until Halloween, just about. Well, as I'm posting this, we have less than 1 week because it comes out on Saturday, Halloween's on Friday. Cool. By the way, I feel like Halloween should always be on a Friday. It should always be on the last Friday of October. Because, bro, you can't, how not fun is it as a kid to go trick-or-treating on, a Tuesday, and you have to be up at, 7 a.m. the next day, maybe even earlier, maybe, to go to school. Not fun. You can't stay out late. Not cool. So I would argue, I would like to suggest what do they call like a new bill or whatever. Halloween last Friday of October. I'm obviously too old to participate in such events, but I think, I feel for the kids out there. So, this year, enjoy. Stay out until 4 a.m. With that said, folks, let's go ahead and get into our next segment. My favorite Halloween video games. I have 4 prepared for you. I could have done 5, but I didn't want to make games out of scratch. I didn't want to, these were the main 4. And if I added a 5th one, it would just kind of seem out of place. So, list of 4. Let's go ahead. Let's get to it. Folks, Halloween is around the corner, and my favorite Halloween video games are as follows. I have 4 different ones here. Some that you may expect. I think 2 that you would expect from me if you all have listened before and kind of know me. And 2 that you would not expect, but also aren't out of the ordinary, crazy, unknown games. So, let's go ahead, let's run through. Let's get this one out of the way. Let's just get this out of the way. Number 1, Luigi's Mansion. What else did you expect a Nintendo YouTuber to come on and say on the podcast? Now, if you're asking me which Luigi's Mansion in specific, we have a list of 4 games. I like lists of 5. We could have said Luigi's Mansion 1 and 2, to make it 5 games. Sorry, it would be Mansion 1 and 3. 2 sucks. 2 absolutely blows. But I could have said Mansion 1 and 3, make this a list of 5. I didn't. If I had to pick one Luigi's Mansion game, I would pick Luigi's Mansion 1, which is cool because it's coming out on the GameCube Switch 2 online service. Kudos to that. I love Luigi's Mansion 1. What I love is it feels way more eerie than the other ones do. Luigi's Mansion 2, yeah, it's a haunted house game, Luigi's Mansion, but it's like, bro, I feel like we've lost the plot. I feel like it was a lot less eerie, not as good. I feel like the bosses had less personality. It just wasn't a good game, I thought, in my opinion. 3 is a little bit better. You had some more freedom. You had a lot more features. You even had DLC. But I go 1, because Luigi's Mansion 1 on that original hardware, you can't beat it. That game actually felt like Halloween, whereas the other ones feel like, oh, spooky vibes, but it ain't Halloween. It's not that real stuff. When I was 3 years old watching my brother play Luigi's Mansion, I was scared for my life. I would sprint out of the basement, bro. If I was the same age watching Luigi's Mansion 3, I'd probably go kiss the TV because the ghosts were not scary. I mean, we got differences here. Come on. So I'm saying Luigi's Mansion 1. Still have it. It's coming to Switch Online, so that's good. We'll have it forever. I might even play some when it comes out next week. After that, let's go with a bit of a curveball. I don't think you all would ever expect me to put this game on here. Once again, not an out-of-the-ordinary game, not a non-Halloween game, but just like you wouldn't expect it because I've never spoken about it. My next favorite Halloween game is The Nightmare Before Christmas for... Now here's the catch. They have this game on the PS2 in the Game Boy Advance. I've not played the PS2 version, however, if I did, I imagine that would be my answer. However, I've only played the Game Boy version, so my answer is The Nightmare Before Christmas for the Game Boy Advance. I mean, obviously, not as good graphics as any of the other games on this list, but it's a fun Halloween 2D platformer. And some platformers, you just jump and get to the ending. Like, I think like Elf for the Game Boy Advance is kind of similar to that. But in this game, you got all sorts of cool powers. Jack Skellington can like shoot the dudes. Yeah, I'm foggy because it's been like 5 years. But, excuse me, this game is one of the better 2D platformers on Game Boy Advance. And if you think it's not, go tell me why it's like $40 on eBay. Is it still like $40 on eBay? I don't know if it's still that much money, but it definitely was when I bought it. It wasn't very cheap because it's a good game and it's also rare. If you haven't tried it, I'd recommend it. If you have a little Game Boy Advance sitting around, little EverDrive, if you all know what that is, you know, you can like pirate games. Get the Nightmare Before Christmas. Very, very fun time. After that, let's get this one out of the way. Any Animal Crossing game except for Wild World is my next pick on this list. If you're wondering why not Wild World, that's because it has no Halloween event. Every Animal Crossing has the Halloween event, and I love playing that every Halloween night. So that's nice. I mean, let's talk about each one. The GameCube one is like Luigi's Mansion. The GameCube one always has the scariest ones. On GameCube, if you play Animal Crossing on Halloween, there's all these different villagers with, if I have this right, the Jack pumpkin heads on, and they chase you. If you get too close to them, they will run after you. If they catch you, you have to like give them, I think, candy or something. It's been a while. So that's a fun aspect. You have all these dudes chasing you, and all the while, everyone has the same pumpkin heads on. You have to go and find the real Jack. Jack is a NPC in Animal Crossing who runs the Halloween event. Everyone has heads that look like Jack. You have to run around and go find the actual Jack. Love that event. In City Folk, this is the one that I'm most foggy on. Let's see. Oh, how does it work? don't you play games with the villagers, and if you, or no, is it you give them candy, and if you don't give them candy, they steal your clothing? And Jack, I think it's similar to GameCube, but in New Leaf, what you do is in New Leaf, you have to go and get a mask. You go and get a mask from Able Sisters to go and scare villagers, and then they give you candy, which then you can give to Jack, and then he gives you Halloween items. That's fun. And then in New Horizons, it's pretty dumbed down. I hate all the New Horizons holiday events because they're a lot less challenging. In New Horizons, no one takes anything from you if you don't give them candy. So, like, they're protecting the younger audience. Oh, man, don't, have anything bad happen to them like it did in GameCube. In New Horizons, you can dress up, you can wear masks and stuff and, like, custom outfits that you make, but it's not the same. Excuse me. I'm all stuffed up. It's not the same. I don't like the New Horizons events, but Animal Crossing Halloween overall is a decent time. I will say that. After that, my final answer is Pumpkin Jack, which is so it's on Switch, it's on PC, and I believe it's on Xbox and PlayStation. I could have just said all platforms. But anyways, Pumpkin Jack is a fun 3D platformer. I would recommend buying it off of Switch because you can buy it on the Switch, but it doesn't run as good as it would on other systems. And I will be honest, I've not beaten it yet, but I think if you just want like a fun Halloween platformer that is not on the Game Boy Advance, like Nightmare Before Christmas, I think this is your answer. Now, I do want to give a half honorable mention. What I mean by that is I want to play, everyone's been telling me if you like Halloween games, go play Costume Quest 1 and 2. I've never played those games, but I'm going to, I think, tonight and tomorrow and see what the hype's all about. So those could have made my list. However, that is my list of 4 Halloween games that are my favorite. Let me know your favorite down below. And with that said, let's go ahead, folks, and get to the question block segment of this podcast where I answer your questions you ask me. Let's go ahead. Let's get to it. Folks, you've made it to the question block segment where I answer your questions you ask me. If you want to ask me a question, feel absolutely free. There are 2 ways to do so. Number 1, I post. Wait, no, hold on. We're gonna stop advertising that method. Number 1, if you click the link in my description, you can find my Discord server. You can ask questions in the podcast questions channel in there if you have a Discord account and are pretty savvy with it. If you're not, totally fine. The most straightforward way to ask questions is via email. You can email mariomatterquestions@gmail.com. Not the Mario Matter Questions, not my business email, mariomatterquestions@gmail.com. And our first question comes from Kat, who asks, "Hello, I am fairly certain I'm getting a Switch 2 for Christmas, and if I do, I will give my little brother my Switch 1. So I have 2 questions. 1, what games should I get him that's relatively cheap and like some licensed slop?" Licensed slop, okay. So we gotta find games that are cheap for your brother that you can give him if you give him your Switch 1. I mean, it doesn't have to be licensed slop. I would say if you want cheap games that are good, you gotta go indie games. So something like Hollow Knight Silksong. Excuse me. That's like $20, right? You can go there. You can go Stardew Valley. Heck, you can go Pumpkin Jack. Pumpkin Jack's like $5. No, it's more than that. $10. Pumpkin Jack's pretty cheap. You can go there. Those are kind of like the big 3. Dinkum is like a mini version of Animal Crossing. It's like $20. You can go with Dinkum. I think the best route is indie games. And also, what games should I get besides Pokemon Legends ZA, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Metroid Prime 4? Thank you, EmSwizzle. No problem. You didn't mention Mario Kart. I imagine that's a given. You're going to get Mario Kart, but if you aren't, you get Mario Kart. Beyond that, though, you didn't mention Kirby Air Riders. I think, honestly, I'm not trying to be a shill or anything like that. The best Switch 2 experience you're going to get if you want to buy some Switch 2 games, and this goes for anybody, you're going to get the best experience playing Nintendo-made games. So I can't recommend Kirby Air Riders enough. I can't recommend, you already said it, but Metroid Prime 4 enough. If you want the good Switch 2, well, what games do I buy? There's not enough third-party stuff out there yet to where I can be like, yeah, definitely buy that. I mean, you have, like, Story of Seasons, Grand Bazaar, that's a third-party game on Switch 2, and there's a few others, but, like, the best time you're going to have, the most quality time is going to be with Nintendo-made games, so buy all those first. If I had to recommend one third-party game to you, it'd be tough, because there ain't much, is there? I mean, how do I rephrase? Like, there are third-party things, like Pac-Man World Repack 2, if you want to count that. But it's like, that's on Switch 1. Can you call it a Switch 2 game? I don't know. So I'm thinking like Switch 2 exclusive first party. Third party. Can't recommend Madden. I'd say buy every Nintendo game. If you want to buy a certain third party, you can. And then after that, we'll talk. But for you, Ken, I'd say Kirby Air Riders. I don't see it on your list, so I definitely get that. Hamza asked, will you play Luigi's Mansion 1 when it releases on GameCube Switch Online on October 30th? Now, that's a good question, Hamza, because although I'm all hyped up about it, I love Luigi's Mansion, I don't know if I'm actually going to play it, because I've beaten it like 3 times in my life already. It is the day before Halloween, so it's like I can't beat it in time, So I probably lean towards no. Maybe I'll log on and check it out, but like I won't see it through. So I'll hop on, relive some nostalgia, go into EGAD's lab and like, hearing that music. Like, the little EGAD lab theme. I'll get some nostalgia, but like I probably won't beat it. But I guess your question, will I play it? Yeah, I think so, but not for very long because I've played through the game. I know how it goes, and excuse me, that's about it. But yeah, I will maybe check it out. Just won't play it all the way through. Luigi Bros 64 YT asks if Skylanders. Oh, you're asking the real questions, bro. If Skylanders were to return, should it be a remaster of any of the 6 games, or should the franchise have a completely new game? Well, if they were announcing their return, I'd want a new game. But let's say this. If Activision, or whoever, Toys to Bomb, whatever, Activision, if they're like, all right, we're open to making Skylanders return, but we don't really feel like making a new game, I am 1000% fine with a remaster. I'm cool with that. But if they're gonna return, make a new game. But if they announce Skylanders remaster, I will not be upset. I'll be ecstatic. I'll play through all the games all over again, probably. So apart from that, I think what they should do is, if they ever did do that, I think that you do 2 collections. I think that you do Skylanders Spyro's Adventure, Giants, and Swamp Force on one game. And then like a second one, Trap Team, Superchargers, Imaginators. I would prefer it if it was all one thing, but I understand that is a lot of content to sell in like one package. So I actually think they would be right to charge like 2 $60 discs or discs, cartridges if they were to put it on Switch. I wouldn't actually mind that, because like Skylanders games, they're not long, but they're not short. Like, it's not like it's a 4-hour game. So, excuse me, I think they could get away with like 50 each, sell it for 100, I think that's what they could do, and what I would be fine with. Which sounds crazy, Max. You'd pay $100 for old games? Yeah, I probably would. If it was an HD and it was Skylanders, I probably would. So, that's just me, though. Finally, Ryan asks, do you think Kirby Air Riders is actually worth $70 after the second direct? Hard for me to say, just because I didn't watch it, being fully transparent, but I mean, I didn't see any like insane. Once again, I should go watch the direct because I did not see. I saw some new modes were announced. Maybe if I actually watch those, that would change my mind. But like, here's I guess the thing. If there was a mode that was gonna knock my socks off, you would think that I saw it yesterday on Twitter. I didn't. The only thing I saw were the amiibo. So, like, yeah, there's new modes, but, like, unless my Twitter feed is under a rock, they didn't blow anyone's socks off, did they? Maybe they did, and I'm just, like, totally misreading the room here, but in my opinion, without having watched the direct, so please take it easy on me. Have mercy, okay? I say no. I say it should be $60. There are plenty of $60 games out there that probably have more content than Kirby Air Riders. And also, we already paid $80 for Mario Kart. Now we gotta pay $70 for another racing game. I'm cool. I mean, I'm not cool. I'm gonna buy it. But like, if I was a fan, a regular fan, didn't buy every game for content, I probably wouldn't buy Kirby Air Riders for this much. At least not at launch anyway. I feel like you can put a ton of content in the game. Kirby Racing shouldn't be $70. Kirby in the Forgotten Land is $60. That's crazy work. So, that's my opinion. I think probably no. Probably shouldn't be. That's it. Folks, thank you all for listening to the Mario Matter. This has to be one of our shortest episodes since like 2023 or 22. Just didn't want to go crazy on this one, so I can rest up for next week. What was I going to say? I was going to say something else. I forget what I was going to say. That might happen. That'll happen. All right. Thank you, folks. Oh, here we go. To next week, we will have a guest. We were going to have one this week. Fell through. Next week, I can tell you right now, 1,000% we'll have a guest, assuming that they don't, have to back out last minute. With that said, folks, I will see you all next Saturday for even more Nintendo goodness. Thank you all for putting up with me in this episode. If you made it this far, comment down below the word mushroom. All right. I appreciate you all. I'll see you all soon. Adios.